Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coaching Show here on KOXC. I am Derek Stuckley, along with Brownwood Lions Athletic Director Mitch Moore. And hopefully the chilly weather is over that we experienced this weekend, and we can get back to spring weather because there's a whole lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot going on, yes. The weather was cold at the end of the week and this weekend. But started off nice last week at the district golf tournament over in Abilene. Last Monday and Tuesday, and I can say that the weather was warm. It was windy the second day, quite windy, but I think that's becoming a norm around here these days with the wind. But district golf, boys team finished second in district, so they got a berth to the regional tournament. Caleb Mottewell finished second overall medalist, and so boys team will be headed to Lubbock next Wednesday and Thursday for the regional for the regional tournament. Girls team finished third, but we had two of our girls golfers that are going to qualify for regionals. River Jones and Tristan Garcia, both were the top two medalists. So they'll be going to regionals in Lubbock next Monday and Tuesday. And so golf is going to go back again and see what these two senior girls can do as individuals. See if they can get I guess we're probably going to play in the wind in Lubbock, I'm sure. Hopefully it won't be a cold wind. And see if they can get out of regionals, get to state, and then see if the boys team, when they get back to state again this year, as they were a state qualifier last year. So some of those same team members are on the same as last year, just lost a couple seniors from a year ago, but those same guys were at the state tournament, so they know what it'll take to get back there. So excited for Brownwood golf, girls and boys, but they'll be headed to Lubbock next week. So that's good. Yeah.
To all of them.
Yeah, golf, great. Headed on to regionals. You and I were at the track meet. One day was hot, one day was stormy and cold and rainy, and so, but Lady Lions, they are still hot. So they put on a show. You got down district champions, 256 points, and what I didn't realize that you kind of shared with me, we won 13 of 17 events. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous, crazy. Yeah. So that is great. So we got 26 girls headed to area meet, which will take place this Friday in Abilene. But great showing by the girls track team on last week in the district track meet. Lions track did a great job too. Had a finished third with 109 points. Won 3 events, and they've got 12 guys going to the area meet this Friday. So a good meet for the Lions as well. In some cold conditions, all the running finals it was cold and windy.
So it got colder as the night went on.
Yeah, it did. So it was, but it was a good meet. So hopefully Friday's temperatures and weather looks good in Abilene. They'll compete right there next to Shotwell Stadium, a little annex. And so if you're in Abilene on Friday, you want to do some track. Running, most field events will take place in the morning, and running will start after lunch. And so excited to see how our athletes compete and who moves on to regional. And so, and just to note, the JV Lady Lions won the track meet too, district champions, and they scored over 200 points. So that little group, I think, won every track meet as well. The JV girls, I think they were, I don't know if they lost a track meet this year either. Pretty close to all of them. And then the JV boys finished in third. So good showing there for them as well. So track, regional, area qualifiers. So we'll just keep moving. 2 weeks continue to qualify for the next few weeks. Baseball got back on the winning track on Friday. So got a split with Graham. It was a good. You score runs, you win. We scored 9 runs. Scored 7 in 1 inning, I think. And so that's what you got to do. You get the runs on the board, and then let them try to fight back. But there's a good win to get a split with Graham. So now we get to face Brock this week. So we're headed to Brock tomorrow night, and then at home on Friday against Brock. So and I believe Brock's leading the district right now. No,
Mineral Wells.
Mineral Wells is leading us. That's right.
Yeah.
Mineral Wells is one game up on their 4-0.
They beat Brock.
Yeah, so 3-1 and 4-0. That's right. Mineral Wells is at the top of the district. I read your article.
Thanks.
Saw that. Yes, that's right. I was getting those confused. Brock's headed up top of the softball standings.
Yes.
So softball, big win on Friday night again. Scored a lot of runs, 13 runs versus Glenrose. Busted it open and had a 9-run inning, and it helps. I mean, you get that going, it just rolls.
Yeah,
and so
you have some 7-run and 9-run innings.
so great.
It's going to be a
so
good night.
they finished. They swept Glenrose. That's good. Get the sweep. Get that one. And so they'll host Mineral Wells tomorrow night here at Lady Lion Field, 6:30. Looks like the weather will be nice, a little cool, but nice, and we need to get Mineral Wells. We didn't get them the first time over in Mineral Wells, and I don't think we had our best outing, if I remember correctly. So see these ladies get after Mineral Wells at home Tuesday, and then host Stephenville on Friday. Be a big game again. So we'll have both baseball and softball at home on Friday, and so I'm looking at parking. I know the last time we had both teams at home, it was great. We had people everywhere, so we'll look at that to make sure our overflow parking is better than the street. If that happens, we will open up the parking lot next to the cafeteria on the school side. I'd like for people not to park on Good Shepherd and keep the street clear, but if we have the same issue, the good issue we have, a number of fans coming out on Friday night, then we'll have our new parking lot open, and then we will encourage any overflow parking to be in the cafeteria parking lot if on the high school side, and we'll have another ticket gate open on that side so you can enter on either side. But just trying to keep off the streets as much as we can, but want safety. So this parking lot is still not striped. I did get an update today, and haven't got that final update. I don't know. It keeps raining or blowing wind. I'm not real sure, but hopefully, fingers crossed, by Friday night we'll have it striped. But I have no more promises on construction and striping. I cannot. It changes every day depending on the weather.
Yeah,
so
just see what happens.
So hopefully we'll have that. But again, if not, we'll look at parking lot at the high school will be available, and we'll have another ticket gate. But just encourage people not to park on the street. Kind of keep those streets clear. Tennis had a great weekend in the Marble Falls tournament. Tryon Ball and Wesley Goodrich placed third in boys doubles. Andre Martinez and Aiden Oakland won one boys doubles constellation, and Anna Daniel placed fourth in girls singles. And so they've got a tournament next week in Llano, and then we will be hosting the district tournament the following week. So they've got one more tournament before they have the district tournament, so excited to be able to host that at our new complex. I think that's the 23rd and 24th of April, so excited the tennis will be able to host and kind of show off that and get their district play started. Girls soccer finished, but a lot of awards handed out on. I have to read this. I cannot remember all these, but 16 all-district selections, 7 of the superlatives. Gracie Lee was the district offensive MVP, senior. Alma Bernal was midfield MVP. Naomi Siniceros was the MVP goalkeeper. Isabella Garza was offensive newcomer of the year. Rebecca Delgado was a defensive newcomer of the year. That's good. They're newcomers, so we know they'll be back.
That's right, yeah.
That's exciting. Nyla Hall won the Golden Boot for the most goals scored in district. And then quite the honor for Alexis Mosqueda Walker, got the Coach of the Year. So one of the best seasons the Lady Lions have had. Got the unfortunate draw of the number 1 team in the state for the playoffs. Still not sure, like you said, how you finish that well and then get that kind of draw in the UIL playoffs. But it happens. But congratulations to those girls. On the superlatives, first team all-district selections included Sydney Atkins, Isis Hall, Nixon Johnson, and Madison Weckworth. And second team selections were Adriana Allen, Jacqueline Lewis, and Kinley Lewis. And then honorable mention, Alina Bernal and Riley Sheath. So just just racked it up, and when you know, have the kind of season you have, then you're going to get honored in your district for that kind of that. So, again, most wins, fewest losses in a season, and shared the district title with Stephenville. Just UIL did a new change in format, and we ended up with who we ended up with. And they're still playing, by the way. Watch that July. They beat Stephenville this past week as well, so they're still rolling. So I'm not surprised at that at all. I think that. Did we miss anything? The boys soccer stuff will come out later as soon as the last school is through competing in the playoffs, and so we'll get that as soon as that happens.
Okay. So is there any other news, anything going on?
Yeah, we excited to announce we've hired Jordan Young as our head basketball coach. Jordan is familiar with this area, and some are familiar with Jordan. He was a Howard Payne graduate, played basketball at Howard Payne. He actually did his student teaching at Brownwood High School when I was the principal. So I go back with Jordan whenever that was, whenever he was doing student teaching. And so he's familiar with Brownwood basketball program. He was familiar with, at that time, Coach Freeman and Coach Dowley. I had some conversations with Coach Dowley over the past few weeks about the head coaching position, and Coach Dowley left us for Howard Payne, so I asked him if he wanted to leave Howard Payne and come back. It really wasn't his thing, and not really. I'm just kind of joking, but value Coach Dowley's opinion, and so I had mentioned that Jordan had reached out about the job, and Coach Dowley was he said I was going to call you anyway and let you know I think this is who you should go after. So without even knowing it, Coach Dowley and I were having a conversation about the same guy, and so excited for that. He the coaches in the area and being able to work with them and know them. So like I said, he's familiar. Played college basketball, coached college basketball, been at Santo a few years. His head coaching record hasn't been what he would like it to be, but what impressed me was one of the main things I talked to him about was participation numbers and getting kids to want to be out and want to play. And so he, in a small school, tripled his numbers in just a few years, and he's also been in the district. I mean, he knows what it is to go up against some high-ranked team. Lypan was a state championship. I think they won it, didn't they? I can't remember if they won it or they were in the state championship.
Safe bet.
So, he knows what it takes to compete against those teams that are, and what it would take to get there. So, in that, being in a small school, I think he gets the multi-sport athlete and getting student athletes to participate in as many sports as you can. And so I think it's a good time for him to, it's kind of what he brings to the table. And me knowing him and having some personal connection with him, I think that's good too. So I can help him get basketball, build a program, and so continue to build on what we've had here, and even to make it better. And so, and then we had several applicants. Just to kind of give you an idea, we interviewed coaches from the 6A level. They were assistants in the 6A level, some from Houston area and the other Metroplex areas, and then we interviewed several other mid-sized classifications, and then it's small. So again, a good range of candidates, small school, big school, and just looking for the fit, the best fit for Brownwood. And so I think his knowledge of kind of familiar with Brownwood, familiar with me, knowing him, familiar with Howard Payne, and connections there, it just seemed like to be a good fit for Brownwood. And so I'm excited. He's finishing up some spring sports. Obviously in a small school, he's coaching multiple things, so he's going to finish up softball. He won't be able to come and start here till next year full time, but we plan to get him when softball finishes for them. He'll get down, and we'll get him an opportunity that we'll probably get him on the radio we'll get him an opportunity to meet with all the student athletes from probably 6th grade up, 6, 7, 8, 9 through high school, and then he'll be here during the summer running the camp. So it'll be an opportunity, and then open gyms and different things as he can get settled. So making that move, and just like any coach coming in, we'll give him some time to get moving, but he'll be here as much as he can, and we'll get him introduced soon. But excited for Brownwood basketball. I'm a basketball fan, and my team won, beat Duke. It was exciting. U of H, the Cougars. Not that they're my team, but I picked them to be my team right now. I'd also
They're
picked
your team this weekend.
That was my team. I also picked Tech, and they almost didn't let me down. But anyway, so I want to see our basketball program grow on the boys' side. And my son was a basketballer and loved it, and so those are just want to see that program grow and continue to grow and get better. And I think Coach Jordan Young, is going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm excited, and we'll get him introduced to everybody, and especially the kids. I want to get him in front of the kids as soon as I can, so it'll be a couple weeks, but we'll do that. So anyway, that I think takes care of that, and we're
A lot we covered today.
a lot going on. Good stuff. Still busy. It'll be track, baseball, softball, tennis, golf, still rolling.
Yeah, just a few things.
Yep, but it's good. So, and then football, I'm sure Coach Rick's will be back on Wednesday to talk about what they're doing, but I think I think they're going to start some football stuff this week. And I think, football skill stuff. So, a lot of learning to go on there as well. So,
Yes.
new stuff.
All right. Well, we'll thank our sponsors and get out of here.
All right. Appreciate these sponsors: Auto Glass Magic, Burner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Ant Hill Containers, Dr. Von Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Heartland Funeral Home, Hendrick Clinic, Landmark Admin, MC Bank, Painter & Johnson Associates, Smith & Sharp Agencies, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right. And that'll be a wrap for today's show. We will be back here Wednesday again with Coach Brixey on the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show on KOXE, KOXE.com, and the KOXE app.